guys, we're back with another video. We're actually not a video today. We're just gonna discuss.
What?
Yeah, no video, no need for a video. Everybody's seen it. Everybody knows what we're talking about. We all know why you're here. So this whole KeKe Palmer and her boyfriend thing. Now, we want to come at it from a different angle. I really don't get into the whole celebrity relationship things because celebrities live on another planet. It's almost like they're not even human. Their relationships are weird and out there, and I don't really like getting into it. But I think there's a lot that can be learned from that. I think there's a lot that this young man is going to learn from this situation. And I think there's a lot that young men, and men in general, watching this can learn from this situation. So, as a man's been married for quite a while now to a beautiful, sweet woman, I know what I expect out of my wife. I know what I want from her. She knows what to expect of her. I know what's expected of me. For a lot of young men, a lot of people saying that, oh, that's not her husband, that's not this and that. You know, I get that and I respect that because I do believe that if you're gonna put a baby in a woman, you know, you should actually be married before you know, do that. So I think that's part of the problem with this young man. So when you put something out there like that as a man, you gotta understand a few things. One is that there is a double standard for men and women when it comes to this type of thing. Women can put what they want on social media, men and women can say what they want about men, generally speaking, and have very little backlash about it, whether it be true or not. But men, we don't get that latitude. And there are other double standards that don't go well for women. You know, as something like, you know, most men can have a high body count and not be judged for it. Most women will be judged for having a high body count, things like that. Yeah. So we have to accept the fact in our society that double standards do exist. Can you agree with that? And we have to just deal with it, man. That's what it is. We can't change it. That's the world we live in, is that double standards do exist. So I think the young man got emotional, and which is what I always tell young men. You have to learn to control your emotions. Because when you control your emotions, you can control the narrative for the most part. For me, if my wife does something that I don't like, I believe in praising publicly and admonishing in private. And that's something that we always have talked about, right? Yeah. I don't get out here and embarrass my wife. I don't go on social media and say she didn't cook dinner tonight, you know, or the sex was trash last night. Like, we don't do that. If I have something to address with my wife that's negative, I'm going to do it behind closed doors. And vice versa with you. How do you feel about that? Praising publicly and admonishing privately.
Well, that's why we've been married all these years, because it's mutual respect, and it goes, it's for everything. It's not just mutual respect inside the home, it's everywhere. It's everywhere that our fingerprints touch, whether they're digital or physical. So
absolutely.
Yeah, it's about being respectful and you know, having that respect for your spouse. I always want people to see you in the highest light because you are the most amazing person I've ever met before. And I always want that to be demonstrated. And in a moment of frustration and anger, I don't want that to be, I don't want to taint your image or your reputation just because I'm mad at you just for a fleeting moment.
Yes. Yes.
And then after that moment is over and we're lovey-dovey again, everybody side-eyeing you.
Everybody in our social circle.
Yeah, I remember when you said, this ninja for real, because I tainted that image of your respect or even reputation, and people get so emotional and they don't realize that that's what they're doing, and that's a dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, and I always want people to see that I love and respect my wife. I love her. I don't go on Instagram and like other women's pictures, IG models' pictures. I don't follow IG models because I want to respect my wife. I don't want anybody even pull up a picture and say, ooh, he liked that. He liked this picture of this half-naked woman. I want to respect my wife. And I think that is going out the window so much now. And let's make no bones about it. What KeKe wore was unbecoming of a mother. In my personal opinion, I don't care, you cannot like it, that's my personal opinion. I know what a wife looks like, and that's not wife. However, the man has not made her a wife. And so people are gonna they're gonna look for any kind of way to absolve her of her actions and make her right. That's why you don't go to social media. That's why you don't get on there. That's why you don't put a baby in her, sir. That's not the woman you put a baby in. You already did that without the honor of making her your wife. So people are gonna use it against you. You got in your emotions, you got in your fifis, and now look at you. You out here with your booty in the wind. And it's not gonna go anywhere because it's here to stay. So from a female standpoint, what do you think about this situation?
From a mature woman's perspective, when I see things like that, like what KeKe did, a few alarm bells go off for me. Because a mother The one thing that I never want to do or never wanted to do in my life was to have a moment of my own self-absorbed whatever, whether I was going to a party or whatever, and leaving a lasting digital fingerprint for my children to one day possibly be ashamed of. Wow. That's something that stood out to me. It's like, I know you're on the stage, you're all singing and hugged up with Usher, or as Luda would say, Ursher. I get that, but what you're not seeing because you lack insight, hindsight, and foresight, be able to look ahead, what you're not seeing is that one day when that little one is older, people come across your picture when you all hugged up with your both cheeks, double cheeks out, next to Usher. That is embarrassing to your child. Yeah. And I know we want to be like, oh, you know, it's good, it's all about you, but it's not just about you. It's about everyone that you are in relationship with. So I never wanted to put myself in a position where my children would be ashamed of their mama.
Well, it's like, well, you see it now. A lot of these adult workers, film workers, OF content creators, their kids are being made fun of in school now because everything's digital. These kids can find stuff. This isn't the 90s when we came up, you know, like where, you know, that old saying goes, the 90s, lots of memories, no evidence. It's evidence for everything now, digital footprints for everything. So it will come back up. It definitely will. And those things are not being thought about because, and that's my next point for this young man. Really, you didn't vet this woman. You didn't vet her properly before you put a baby in her, sir. And so now you look like a horse is behind because your girl is out here acting a fool, doing what women like that do. You don't wife women like that. You certainly don't put babies in them. No. So if you're not going to wife her, why did you put a baby in her? So brother, why would you go out there and put something out there in the cesspool and expect to get anything out of it, and then you come back and try to say, well, I have moral standards. Your moral standard should have been to never put a baby in a woman like that. That's where your moral standard should have been, brother. I'm not coming down on a young man. I think this is for every young man listening on the sound of my voice that hears this, or older man that hasn't learned this stuff yet. You have to understand what you're doing and who you're doing it with. And you don't put babies in women who don't respect you. Point blank, period. You know what? With that, that's enough said.